Good morning, everybody. GM, welcome to Money Monday. Great way to kick your week off. Happy to see all of you here. Send a quick reminder text to somebody you know who should be here. Let's get this party started. Great list of people. Good to see you all. I know we had an awesome accelerator event over the weekend. There we go. Okay. Well, hey guys, we are counting down. We're making some progress. A lot of people are. We got 80 days and 45 minutes. 79 days, really. Exciting. Holy moly. The last one was awesome. This one's going to be even better. So let's jump into the dashboard real quick. Quote of the day. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. And to me, what that makes me think is how we were trained in the public school system that falling is bad. Falling, failing, mistakes, all of that count against you. It will go on your permanent record. It's going to follow you forever. What a terrible, terrible thing, this whole falling. That was the story that we were all told, which is why I think so many people are willing to settle for an employee life instead of a boss life. And, for a long time, you could do both. You can be an employee somewhere and run your own business somewhere else. By all means, does that make sense? Do it. But don't just stay in the employee life. And that's kind of what this is saying, employees never fall. So that's probably the safest way, but that's not it. The greatest glory is in rising every time we fall. So go ahead and fall, but fall forward, fall fast, fall often, just get up every time. Confucius at one point was so influential in Confucianism. I don't know if that's the actual descriptor, but the way that he was teaching people to think outside the box, outside the system, became a threat to the entire Chinese government at the time. And they were trying to ban all of his books and his teachings. But, can't keep wisdom down. So, anyway, our greatest glory is not that we in never falling, but that we rise every time we fall. Beautiful. Love to see it. Yes, sir. It is working. 80 days. Okay, something that a few people have asked me about, so I just want to make sure that others know about the opportunity and the option here. Cosimo and I are doing a learning blocks equals student blocks equals professional blocks. It's like a mini intensive on how your brain works. And a lot of people have gone through it. They really liked it. In fact, one of the courses inside of our Renatus program is the Genius of 21 Days course. But some people like a little more one-on-one kind of thing. And so what we're offering here, come into the class and going through the exercises in that class that we'll have. And then we'll set a time after that to analyze your brain, going over what's your strengths, your weaknesses. In his language, it's your blocks, right? What is blocking you from memorizing? What's blocking you from learning fast? What's blocking you from speed reading? What's blocking you from getting organized or making a better plan for your business? There's a lot of little blocks that add up to stagnation or fear or what we would call procrastination. So, anyway, if you want to come to that, let me drop the link in here. Just fill out this form. Now, obviously, if you've already taken the full day course, you've come to the thing before, it'll be a great review for you. But please don't sign up for the brain scan again, because it does take 90 minutes to 2 hours to do for somebody. So, but there's two. There's one this Wednesday, okay, this Wednesday, and there is one on the 14th. So let me drop that in the chat too. That's for August 14th. Okie dokie. The reason why I bring this up is because I know that, I mean, thing is, right, we've got to do the business, but why are some people getting the result in a couple weeks, a couple hours a week, and other people are working nonstop, or what they're telling themselves is nonstop, but not getting the result? There's only a few answers, and it could be broken down into, ignorance, but not really. You're in an education company. It's not really that. Um, is it a lack of tools? Probably. Lack of learning tools, because it's not a lack of information. Right? We got 400, 500 hours of content plus things like ATM and accelerators and challenges. It's not a lack of information. Shall put in the chat here consistency, right? A lack of consistency, but even that, lacking consistency on something you know you should do, that you want to do, that'll be great for you and everyone around you, but you still don't do it. What's the problem there? I think it's fear of failing, fear of looking stupid, fear of mistakes, fear of also the success. If you start succeeding more than your friends, you have to get new friends. You cannot keep hanging out with the same broke minds people. They might be great people, right? Great for their community and their church and their neighborhood, great people at their jobs, everything that they're doing. But if they're still broke, they still have that impoverished mindset. Even though they're great people, they're still not people you can spend time with. Otherwise, their mentality will bring yours down. There's an argument to be said about, well, I can help raise their mentality. True, if you have a mind fortress of steel. Otherwise, social influences are going to get you. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So you ought to be spending time with wealth-oriented, business-oriented, responsible people. So anyway, if you want to learn about your brain, why you do the things you do, and how to get more out of your Renatus course, how to study faster, retain more, have more confidence, and ultimately produce more business, come hang out with us. Either this Wednesday, it's in the afternoon for Mountain Time, or on the 14th. So also, if anyone's gone through the program and they like it and want to drop a comment in the chat, then go ahead. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the program. I've enrolled hundreds of people personally and thousands of people with my team. And I see brilliant people and average people. Still an amazing result. But then I sit back and go, why are some people with all the time, talent, and ability still not doing it? They got a block. They simply got a block. So when Cosimo started putting this together and opening it up for our Renatus group, I said, hey, I'm gonna tell my people about it. I think Bruce's brother was actually in a workshop with us recently, and anyway, he had a great time over the weekend. I don't know if you're in a spot, Bruce, where you can come off a mute, or if your brother told you what he liked about it, but um, it's not just for Renatus folks and business owner type. Although because Cosmo is now a real estate investor, he's geared a lot of what he teaches to us for our real estate goals. And you know, what's the average time waster that a new real estate investor gets involved with? is overanalysis, right? You start analyzing the property for hours and days and weeks and fool yourself. Hey, I'm investing, I'm analyzing, I'm doing deals, but just procrastination of the highest order. All right, Deborah says, great program, but I put it on the shelf with intent to get back to it. Stuff gets in the way. Oh, that's stuff. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful about procrastination. All right, so the name of the game, regardless of your real estate business or your marketing business, it's find the people, tell the story, build for events, and follow up. Recently Tamara was sharing some deals that have come across her way because she has been consistently doing this four-step process. Where did she learn this four-step process? She learned it by marketing. She made a couple $100,000 marketing, and by building up that habit of being able to talk to strangers, cold call right off the cuff, being able to make friends and influence that conversation, it came from all of her marketing. And it's a very low risk thing in the marketing world with a high reward. So we go out into the real estate world, it's risky, right? If you're not able to manage that risk and be able to see through some nonsense, carry conversations, stand your own with negotiating and paying attention to detail, you're not going to put deals together the same way you want to. So anyway, congrats to Tamara for being the one to blow up. Those mortgage brokers, the realtors, the people that she's working with, the buyers, those deals are all coming together because of follow-up. So anyway, wanted to kind of open this up today as a Ask Me Anything. Of course, I could rant all day about Federal Reserve, the money printing, the asset inflation that's about to happen. Guys, it's going up. They just approved the printers to go on to warp speed. And so if you're an asset holder, real estate, stocks, bonds, gold, if you're an asset holder, when they print money, your asset goes up. All those other people, what happens to them? If they're not holding real estate and they print the money, what happens to their dollars? What happens to their 401k? It gets devalued, gets debased, gets insulted, disrespected. So one way to help your family, even if they're not interested in real estate, they don't care about fix and flips, they never watch the GT shows, they don't want to sell real estate, they don't want to even, it doesn't matter. You don't have to want real estate, but you need real estate. But the way the game is set up, it's not checkers, it's chess. So when I'm out there marketing and talking to people about it, it's not, it depends on the person. If they're directors, then definitely I'll be like, hey, we're going on, trips around the world where we're doing jet skis off of yachts in the Cayman Islands, right? Like, let's go paint that picture. But for everyone else, it's the safest, smartest thing to do is put your money in a thing that goes up while they're debasing the currency. So you look at it as a favor, right? Like the Renatus 4 core beliefs. When we're out there marketing to people, it's I'm doing you a favor. Now, if you say no, that's your loss, right? They're going to devalue the currency 7% every year. It only takes 10 years to get cut in half. So do them a favor. Do them a favor. Do them a favor. Okay. Got a question from Eric. Is Saladio Monday's online workshop still going on? Got a friend in. From what I can tell, yes, Eric. They're still going on. But you guys might not know this. I stopped caring about Saladio. And I told Bob Snyder that. I apologize. I'm sorry, sir. I really don't care about Saladio. I'm all in on Renatus, baby. I don't need a Saladio. Okay. So other people, they find huge benefit in it. The drive system, the emotional fingerprint, the internal techniques that people need to stay chill, right? Calm in the chaos. Being internal is important for sure, no matter what. Um, so if you want to sell it, sell it. Other people want to buy it. But for me, I'm real estate, I'm Renatus, and save soil. Right? Gotta grow more trees, gotta plant more, gotta grow more. That's it. Okay. So Jenny says, what's your top 3 forms of lead gen? Well, it's so easy for me. It's easy for me, I think, because I got some thick skin and I don't take people's rejection personally, but it's talking to warm market. It's I mean, even some new neighbors I got. One of the first things I talked about was mortgage, velocity banking. Let me show you something. So 3-foot rule, warm market, something Bill Predabon and I and Tamara are launching a um, Facebook and YouTube ad campaign. Now, it's not my favorite. I know you asked what's my favorite. It's not my favorite. Um, but I'm willing to try it. You got to have some dollars to do it. But for me, it's the meetups and Toastmasters. Some of you have yet to try the Toastmasters. I'm going to say it again. Toastmasters. You know what? Let's go to the website. Toastmasters International. Before the internet, Toastmasters was like the who's who. Um, Toastmasters is you're going to solve a lot of problems with your communication through Toastmasters. You are going to find called green apples. There we go. Toastmasters memberships. Find a club. Let's find a club. Okay, let me guess, Jenny, your zip code is 84096. Just guessing. Hmm,
84121.
it's serious international stuff, guys. There we go. There we go. Let me minimize this here. There we go. Okay. Look at that. Toastmasters. We got the Salty Tongues, the Crosstalkers. Ooh, I used to go to them. Precision Speakers, Parkaway Pontificators. That's fun. Image Masters. I've also gone to them a bunch. Lone Peak, Metro, Risk Management. So it's got an R on it. It's restricted. Means you got to either be a certain level in Toastmasters, finishing certain criteria to hang out, or maybe it's like a company only thing, but that's less likely. Tax Masters, interesting. Silicon Oops, another restricted one. See, Club is for Adobe employees only. So, okay, there you go. The Park City Toastmasters, Copper Communicators. There's a bunch just within 25 miles of here, right? I could go out more, but there's 17 right there. Timpanogos. Now, when you go to the Toastmasters, you're going for 3 reasons. You're going because you suck at talking. Your ability to communicate your ideas effectively and concisely is expensive. It's not making you the money you want. So you're going to go. You need to get better at finding the people, telling the story, building through events, and following up. It's literally all four in one. Okay. When you want to go, the memberships are pennies. Pennies. Where's the price? Oh, that's not it. Oh, nice. It's like $50 for 6 months, $100 for the year. I'm just wandering through their website. We don't need that. Anyway, when you go to Toastmasters, this is so perfect. Okay. They're going to give you 10 assignments. I recommend you get it done in 10 weeks, but some of you will take 10 months to do it. And what's going to happen is each of those assignments is going to give you a different skill on how to share an idea. When you get up in front of the room, I love it. You're going to get everyone's undivided attention, whether it's a group of 5 or 15 or 25. When I was going to the one in Denver, there were 40, and it was a 90-minute group instead of a 60-minute group, because there were competitors that wanted to get better. And some of the speeches were 12 minutes versus 5 minutes. And anyway, it all adds up. It'll all be a wonderful demonstration of how to run your live event for your masterminds. But you'll see when you get there. The second thing is, so first, you're going to get better at speaking. The second thing is, you're going to have an audience of people who want new, relevant information. You're speaking, and you're speaking about taxes or banking, credit, retirement accounts, negotiating. You tell stories about deals, all kinds of stuff. People will be on the edge of their seats listening for it, for good new ideas. Most people don't go to things like Toastmasters, right? They're brown apples. But you're going to find yourself some red and green apples. Okay? Then, no matter how wonderful or terrible you did, someone needs to hear this. No matter how well you delivered your speech or you flopped, guess what they're all going to do? They're all going to applaud. They're going to applaud. Okay, then the third thing you're going to get out of this is feedback. Normally, they're going to write it and hand it to you, and then some people will read the feedback. When you get all the feedback, right now, let's say your idea was you're trying to teach why velocity banking, not how velocity banking. You're not going to do that in 7, but why velocity banking, or like pros and cons or something. They're all going to tell you, they're going to give you individual feedback on how your message can land better next week. Okay? Literally, they're telling you how to convince them of the program. Then you go back next week, you give that same speech with a little bit more feedback plus that week's assignment, and you're going to get better and better and better. And what's going to happen is, we know that people need to hear a message 7 to 9 times before it sinks in, right? That's why the same ads hit you over and over on your feeds, as they know that it needs to be repetition. So now you've got this group of positive people with open minds and open ears, intent on listening, and you keep telling them about real estate investing, velocity banking, the Renatus community, or your real estate business. If you want to mention, what you do and get your real estate leads that way. They're going to start to associate you as that person. So whenever they think of real estate again, they're not thinking of their realtor friend. They're thinking of you, their Toastmaster mate, the person that's in their club. And eventually, you'll hit them with an invitation. Hey, I got this accelerator thing coming. I got this E3 program coming up. And, what I've noticed about all of you guys is you're very enterprising, and it would be so great for you to come and learn from these amazing speakers. And then you give a little twist on it. You're going to see how these guys captivate audiences and control narratives, and you get great content, but you also see 30 amazing speakers. Toastmasters is a club where just a $50 entrance fee separates all these wannabes and losers, I guess. That's not a nice word sometimes, but it's accurate. From the winners. Winners invest in themselves. The people in Toastmasters got to get up. They got to go to a club. They got to try hard. They invest in themselves. They just don't know about Renatus. So when you tell them, everything can change for them. I know a lot of our California groups, mostly the Southern California team, actually the Northern California team too, was doing a lot of Toastmasters and going there. They're getting better at speaking and they're finding clients, they're finding customers, they're finding deals. So that's number two. So number one, your warm market. Just tell all your friends. I do it so I can have a clear conscience. I tell all my friends, I'm a real estate investor. I'm doing real estate. I'm doing it through Renatus. And you have to know about it so that next year, when you wonder why I'm richer and you're not, there's not a confusion here. It's because I bought more real estate than you. And how did I buy real estate? Being broke as a joke with a 500 credit score, 2 jobs, no car, no experience, is I got educated and I surrounded myself. So I tell my friends so I have good conscience. Number two, I go to Toastmasters for all the reasons we just mentioned. And then the third is expos, home shows, booths, um, even like the garden expos, things like that at like the Southtown Expo Center, these big expo centers. They're not cheap though. They're about a $500 to $1,500 per weekend. So um, the way we made it successful for more people was we all split the cost. We all pitch in. There's 5 of us. We each pitch in $100. Me being the guy who tries to open more doors and enable people, I went and bought a bunch of material, tablecloths and lights and stands. And I went to Costco, or not Costco, Kinko's, FedEx, and printed a bunch of flyers and had a bunch of extra hand material, about whiteboards and markers and giveaways and stuff. But the ICM take it seriously. Now, some split up. I've heard other people, like I was talking to the Texas team, and they took shits. When we were doing it with our Atlanta team, we were there all 3 days, all day. So some people can take a shift. Hey, I can only come one day. Great. But we were there from 7:30 in the morning because then you go and you meet all the vendors, all the enterprising people who want to be their own boss, so to speak. They still need real estate. So you got all these great people to go network with. You got something in common, right? We're all boothers together. So then I'd go around in the mornings. I wish everyone a great day. Hope great energy. Hope you do well. Oh, and we'd always bring a speaker and play the loudest music and have a bunch of fun. We were like the fun crowd, always the fun crowd in every home show that we ever did. I've done 14 home shows now. And I know Mitch has done a bunch. Richard's done a bunch as well in the Utah market. The Colorado team has done a bunch. And it's just fun. You can talk to 1,000 people in a weekend and get it all out of your system. Or some of these other ICMs who will refuse these high activity, high engagement activities, they might take 5 years to talk to 1,000 people. And you can do it in a weekend. You'll need a break afterwards, 3 days, 12 hours, pack it in, pack it out, the whole thing. But you will have so many leads to follow up with for the next several weeks. You'll be so busy. It'll be fantastic. And if we want to go, on a deep dive on how to do expos and stuff, I'd be happy to break that down, some do's and don'ts. Like, don't give away a barbecue. Don't give away a laptop. Don't do giveaways that have nothing to do with our program. What I would give away is a free velocity banking assessment. What I would give away is tickets to the E3 in a raffle. I would give away a cash flow board game in a raffle. Give away things that are relevant. Hey, we're going to be doing a private tour of 2 fix and flips next Saturday. right? We're gonna go do one at 11. We're gonna grab a bite to eat, and we're gonna go do another one at 1. And only the winners of the raffle get to come. Something like that. Make up something that's completely relevant to what we're doing. Also books. Mitch has a book. I wrote a book. Um, put some books on the table. Books are a great um, lead magnet. Bob Snyder, that reminds me. Let's go into the back office real quick. Bob Snyder has a book that you can print. If you bought it, it'll be in your My Purchases. Otherwise, there is a spot to get it on Amazon for just a couple bucks. And then I filled the whole table with those. And the people who signed up for anything, I was giving them one of those. Okay, where is it? PDFs. This one right here, 25 strategies to cut costs. So he made that a book. It's 54 pages. Okay. Let me pull up the Amazon link real quick and I will show you. So go to Amazon, type in Bob Snyder, and it should just come right up. Bob Snyder. Where is it? 25. Okay, check that out. 25 strategies to cut costs. So yeah, I bought a bunch 2 years ago for our booths. $7.95. So buy a bunch of these. Boy, running out of time. Anyway, buy a bunch of these, put them on your table, give them away. Of course, you have the PDF. People like a physical thing, right? They can smack it, you can sign it, you put your phone number on it. Also, if you buy it, please give it a 5-star rating. So there was a long answer to your short question. So I'm gonna drop this in the chat here. I think that link will work for you. Okay, recruit them so they become an expert instructor. My breakthrough was that you can create your own warm market. That's right, Pete. Okay. And a few of you that came a little late, jumped on here a little late, doesn't have this in your chat. Cosimo Intermite and I will be doing a workshop this Wednesday. It's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and we analyze people's brains. It's called learning blocks. I'm going to show you how to get more done in less time. Please fill this out and put my name here so we can get organized so that I can help with your follow-ups. I want you to be able to get as much as you possibly can out of your program so you can get the benefits like I'm currently getting, and like Bill and Tamara and Dane and Bruce and all these other people taking action on their deals. Scott and Sue taking action. If you're not getting a lot out of the program like others are, something is blocking you. So let's see what we can do to figure that out and smash whatever that obstacle is. Okie dokie. Questions? How was the accelerator over the weekend? Who went to the accelerator and had a great time with Jason and the crew. Not everybody gets to attend, so everyone around the nation would like to know if anyone can come off and mute and tell us, how did it go? How many showed up? What was the vibe like? How did Jason do?
Hey, hey, I went,
Hey, Scott.
sorry for jumping late, but trying to find my mute button. It was
Yeah, all
good.
good.
We enjoyed it. Um, I haven't been, I haven't had the best of days. This last week has been terrible for me, so I'm still kind of in recovery. But Jason is great. He's, all you guys are great. You're mind blowing. It just, the way you perform is why I'm here. It's what I want to become, and that mind block thing that you gave. What is this learning blocks, student blocks, professional blocks?
Yeah. So when I met Cosimo 6 years ago in Denver, I did just what I was telling you guys about going to Toastmasters, going to networking events, 3 foot rule. And I just went to this networking event and I heard this man with a funny accent, but he was memorizing everybody's name, their occupation. We had a 45-minute meeting, he memorized like 36 people. He came up at the end and he went, name, occupation, all the way through the thing. He goes, I teach memorization techniques, and if you guys want to learn more, come set an appointment with me. So I went straight to him and I was like, dude, I got thousands of students who need to memorize complex strategies and, how to incorporate your tax, your bank, real estate, your insurance, your trust, your legal, this whole thing. You gotta memorize a lot of stuff and know it. And he was actually pretty new to America. He's from Italy, and I was like, dude, if you're gonna make what I think you're making, a couple 100,000 a year doing this, maybe more, you need to know our tax strategies. At the bare minimum, I could save you 100 grand in taxes. So we went and had lunch. I showed him velocity banking and taxes, blew his mind. He showed me a memorization technique. And then I was like, all right, I need to introduce you to Mr. Snyder. So it took a couple months, but I finally got him and Jay Stark and Snyder all to meet. Instantly, they were like, yes, let's make this a part of our process. So once people become a Renatus member, you can buy his program through your Renatus portal. And, it's a 7 module course that he basically shows you how to get the most out of your program, studying techniques, everything. Anyway, he went through the program also. He had zero interest in real estate. Okay, this is the thing, folks. When you go out there in marketing, a lot of times people have zero interest in real estate, but they still need it. And it's your ability to show them the benefits. So I showed him real estate benefits, and he said first thing he did was the tax strategy, and he got $33,000 back because of the tax class. And he's like, already paid for itself. Let's go. And then he set up a bunch of short-term rentals, and now he's buying an apartment building. So he's been a huge Renatus fan this whole time. And I was like, hey man, we need like an intensive type thing for what we do because your course is so long. What can we do for an intensive to show people what we have? And so he put together this learning blocks thing. So it's not just for Renatus people. There'll be some engineers and a doctor here, lawyers, different kind of people take his course because they have high stakes jobs as well. It's not just for students trying to pass, their SATs, which it's also great for that too. But it's how to get more done in less time while having fun. So I heard that Colin was also going to be coming to our E3 event too. So I'm excited about that. But that's kind of how this has come about in in various forms. So yeah, if you want to see some shortcuts, and then also even things, guys, memorizing people's names should be the very base of your memorization skill set. And how often do you say, "Oh, I'm so bad with names"? "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot your name." And they still tell it to you 500 times and you still forget their name. We can fix that in an instant um, with a PAV. It's an acronym for a technique he has. Anyway, from there, if you could just memorize people's names, how much easier it would be to foster relationships and then build businesses from there. So yeah, come and check it out. Tim, all the time. So anyway, come hang out with us. Michelle says my phone will not let me unmute. Interesting. Okay. Maybe if I push the button. Hilani says it was fantastic. Jason was amazing as always. Yeah, he delivers. I love Jason's energy and his body of knowledge on how to discounts, right? It's so important. Yes, the cash flow, but the discount. And you can use home inspections and the knowledge you have around home inspections to knock off tens of thousands, if not more, in your negotiation. So yeah, his class is well worth it. Cool. So thanks for that endorsement. All right. The difference between poor people and wealthy people is what put in their mind and what they decide to do with it. Now that you got this real estate bug, let's get after it. Let's help more people understand it. Right? We were born in the right place at the right time in the right country with the right circumstances. The whole thing's been laid out for us. We have one job, and that's action. Action, action, action. We got 79 days on this action. We've got plenty of opportunities between here and now, there and now, for home tours, property tours, cash flow games, workshops, one-on-ones, masterminds, networking, and we'll leave it with this. I got to quote my very first mentor. Her name was Jody. She brought me into Renatus. She told us over and over, you can either make money or you can make excuses, but not both. And I've actually used that a lot of my prospects. They'll say, "Oh, I'd love to come to your workshop. I'd love to, but." Do you know what my millionaire mentor told me? You can make excuses or make money, but not both. What do you choose? If it's money, I'll see you on Thursday, right? I'll see you at the meeting. And then every Thursday from there on, because repetition builds success. Awesome. Make money or make excuses, but not both. All right, beautiful people. Let's get to work. We got our Invest Edge later today with Mr. Snyder. Gotta go hop on the PAC call. And I'll see you tomorrow for Takeoff Tuesday. We got Wealth Wednesday lined up. Another set of bangers this week. Get out there, spread the good word. Let's have more people get the benefits of our program, just like we're receiving. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.